The NBA and the NBA Player Association have agreed to a new collective bargaining agreement. So let's just run through the quick things that you guys want to hear, what's on the screen. The NBA and the NBA have agreed to a minimum number of games played, 65 games to be exact, for players to be eligible to win major individual league awards such as MVP in the new collective bargaining agreement. Additional changes in the new CBA, a second tax apron that, when reached, will eliminate a team's taxpayer mid-level exception. Next, veteran extension limits will increase from 120% to 140%. And now they'll be able to carry a third two-way contract via cap exception, which means teams can have 18 players on the roster. There will be a prize money for the championship team of the NBA in-season tournament beginning in 2023 to 24, $500,000 per player. And the NBA players will no longer prohibit marijuana under the new 7-year collective bargaining agreement. It's been removed from the anti-drug testing program since 2019. And let's continue with all the news we're hearing right now. The new collective bargaining agreement is gonna have an in-season tournament, 65 game minimum for postseason awards, new limitation on highest spending teams, and expanded opportunities for trades and free agencies for mid and smaller team markets. And with that being said, I mean, this is huge because this is a 7-year deal promising labor peace, and the tentative deal, which starts this 23-24 season, was announced by the league in the union and is expected to be ratified by the league governors and players in the coming weeks. The deal includes our opt-out after the 6th year. Now we can move our focus to the media deal. They were able to figure it out with Tamika Magalio and the NBA's Dan Ruby and the union's Ron Kempner. And after 2 extensions, they were able to get it. Among the key elements, the deal described the NBA is curbing the ability of the high-spending teams, such as the Golden State Warriors and Clippers, to continue running up the salary and luxury tax spending while still maintaining still maintaining ability to add talent to the roster, even though they spend so much. So the NBA is implementing that second salary cap apron that I said, which will be $17.5 million over the tax line, and those teams will no longer have access to the tax player mid-level. In free agency, those changes will be eased into the salary cap over a period of years. Under these changes, Dante DiVincenzo on the Golden State Warriors, Milwaukee Joe Ingles, Boston's Danilo Gallinari, and John Wall, when he signed with the Clippers, wouldn't have been able to sign this past year. As a counter to those limitations, the CBA is creating more spending and trade opportunities for teams at mid to lower markets that don't have as much money. There will be more opportunities in free agency, including larger trades exceptions, and an attempt to curb load management and loss of games. That's why we're seeing this whole thing about potentially having how do you put this correctly, a minimum games played, which in my opinion, it makes sense, guys. Like, come on, let's be realistic. It makes sense for this to happen. We have this issue where I think we all know that the NBA has struggled for people to stay invested. And yeah, so I want to hear your guys' thoughts right here. What do you guys think? And are you guys on the same page as me, or is this just me? And I don't know. I think it's just kind of an interesting thing to look at, but maybe that's just me. I think it's just me. But that's gonna be the video, guys. I hope you guys do enjoy. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The upper limitations 120. So okay, so like the new rule for Jaylen Brown with 120 to 140, Brown would be able to sign a 4-year extension worth 165 right now, but with the increase, he's able to sign now 4-year 189. Sabonis jumps from 4-year 111 to 4-year 121. And then more two-way guys, because we've seen the success stories of Austin Reeves, Caruso, Anthony Lamb, Strus, Duncan Robinson, Jose Alvarado, Lou Dort. So they're gonna get a third one, which was created in the 2017 collective bargaining agreement now with this one. And the in-season tournament games could arrive as soon as 2023 to 24. The event will include pool playing games baked into the regular season schedule starting in November, similar to how like cup games are baked into the regular season of soccer. With 8 teams advancing to a single elimination tournament in December, the Final Four will be held at a neutral site with Las Vegas as a prominent site. In discussion, each in-season tournament game will count toward the regular season. The 2 finalists will ultimately play 83 games. Winning players and coaches will earn $500,000. So that's crazy.